Imagine unlocking $21 billion of economic growth, finding 190,000 new jobs, and putting $13.5 billion in the pockets of taxpayers, all from one federal tax credit called 45Z. Importantly, it's established by the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022, and it's not a credit that the Republican administration's recently announced tax legislation is trying to undermine. I'm Neil Winwood. I'm CEO and founder of Dakota Ridge Capital. Dakota Ridge Capital works with investors and developers in the clean energy space to help both sides monetize the considerable incentives that the government provides for that activity. So today we're going to talk about the 45Z clean fuel production tax credits. So what is 45Z? We'll go into the credit breakdown, how it's calculated, why it matters, and help you figure out an action plan. The 45Z credit has a number of elements to it, and those elements are designed to capture a particular source of fuel generated from biofuels, from renewable natural gas, from farm waste, from the emissions that are generated by these activities, take those emissions and clean them, turn them into a retail transportation fuel, such as compressed natural gas, that is cleaner than the usual carbon-based fuels. The way that the credit works is a bit complicated. It has two elements to it. It has base credits that start out at 20 cents a gallon for regular way transportation fuels, or 35 cents a gallon for sustainable aviation fuels. And when you add to that the prevailing wage and apprenticeship requirements that the Inflation Reduction Act set out, those credits increase substantially to $1 and $1.75 per gallon, respectively. The mechanism for calculating the credit amounts is, as I said, somewhat complicated because it involves applying the factors that I've just mentioned to an emissions factor, which is separately calculated based on the carbon intensity of the fuels generated. Why it matters? It matters because one of the objectives of the Inflation Reduction Act was to reduce the carbon footprint of our economic activities, our everyday economic activities. And so this program, this credit, accelerates innovation across the clean fuel sector. And it creates a tiered system where lower carbon intensity profiles can earn progressively higher tax incentives. So what's your action plan if you're interested in this? If you're listening to this, you almost certainly know about the 45Z credit. If you don't, and you're thinking that you have a project that might qualify, then there's a lot of different steps that you need to go through to see if the processes that you're engaged in or might engage in, the projects that you can connect to or might connect to, are going to qualify under the detailed Treasury guidance tables that are set out to credential the various credits that they're speaking about. It's, as I say, a somewhat complex process. So if you're interested to learn more, and obviously there's a lot more that lies behind the very, very high level introduction that I've just given, then book your call, use the QR code on the screen. You can have a complimentary consultation today to see if and how we can help you save substantial taxes and enhance your return on your project or your investment portfolio. Thanks for listening.